Hello, welcome to Raymond Castile's Basement of Horror. This is a special Christmas episode. Ha 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 ha. Was that Santa Claus or Vincent Price? I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to look at some special holiday toys today. I'm shooting this a couple weeks out from Christmas, so I hope by December 25th we're all still here. And I might have another show between the time of this recording and Christmas, but we'll see. So I'm shooting this a little bit early. I'm not really in the Christmas spirit. It doesn't really feel like Christmas time. But then Halloween didn't really feel like Halloween time. I don't know if it's COVID or things going on with my cat or what, but really I don't really feel the seasons anymore. I don't feel the time of year. It's not like, oh, it's Halloween time, it's Thanksgiving, it's the holidays. I don't feel it. But maybe with this special show, maybe that'll help get you in the holiday spirit. So it doesn't matter if I'm in the holiday spirit. What matters is if you're in the holiday spirit. So hopefully this special Christmas episode, I should have a special effect of like snow falling on me. Maybe sleigh bells and some snow. Yeah, I'll just make more work for myself in post-production. See if I can, so you'll know if you don't see any snow, you know there was too much trouble. I couldn't do it. But I want to see some snow falling and some sleigh bells. Snow. Just feel like Christmas time. Ho, 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 ho. That's a sinister Santa. It's not really a jolly Santa. Yeah. As some of you know, I run a Krampus event. We haven't done it the last 2 years because of COVID, but this year I was able to, didn't do the one that I run, but myself and other people with my organization were able to participate in 2 other Krampus events, and that was nice. So I mention it just because I guess I'm more of a Krampus than a Santa at these events. I always have a Krampus costume, and then another person who's in our organization, the Krampus Research Organization of St. Louis. That's the name of it's an actual 501c3 nonprofit organization. And we put on the St. Louis Krampusnacht every year when there isn't a worldwide plague. So we haven't done it the last 2 years. We'll hopefully do it next year, 2022. But we participated in 2 other groups' Krampus events. And so I always wear a Krampus a Krampus costume. And another person in the organization is always the Santa. And he's very good. His name's Terry Bates. And he's very good at being Santa. He's got the jolly, but also authoritative personality. And he looks the part, and even though he's a young man, he looks like Santa when he's all done up. He's got the character down, and I'm all encased in my fur and everything. So all that, just a long way to say, I think I'm more Krampus than Santa. So trying to act like Santa, it doesn't work for me. I'm not Santa. I'm a monster. I'm not Santa. Other people can be Santa. Oh, speaking of Krampus. So I usually get this out on the show around Christmas time. This is a Krampus sculpture. It's PVC. And my dad got this for me for Christmas some years ago. So that's what a Krampus looks like, more or less. Or at least a modern Krampus. I like a more traditional old world Krampus. And this is fairly old world, I guess, but it's got kind of a modern more devilish look. One day I'll have a Krampus episode. I've got Krampus postcards, like vintage Krampus postcards from, almost 100 years ago. And I might show some of those. I really wish I had a Krampus doll. They had nutcrackers and just dolls back around the turn of the century. And they never, at least the good ones, they never turn up for sale. Never. And when they do, they're in Europe, and they're in actual auctions where you have to, hold a paddle up or whatever, and they go for thousands of dollars. But I wish I had like a turn of the century, old world Krampus doll from 100 years ago. Well, anyway, enough about Krampus. So I hope you're having a good holiday season. Where can I start? So we're going to look at Sideshow holiday monsters. So let's show a Sideshow figure. This is a Sideshow 12-inch Frankenstein. That's Boris Karloff as Frankenstein, of course. And you can see even Sideshow could not escape the curse of the green jacket. Even making these very serious Universal Monsters toys, they still were stuck with that green jacket. And this is the first one they made in the set of 12-inch monsters. They made a whole range of Universal Studios monsters. They made a whole range of 12-inch and 8-inch. 8-inch and 12-inch, but the 8-inch ones, they were not Mego style. They were all PVC. But they were the same size as a Mego. And they made little big heads, as we'll see. Now, I've not done a proper Sideshow episode. I will eventually. It's just such a huge world, such a huge universe to tackle. So much Sideshow stuff, and I have almost all of it. So it would just, it would be like a 2-part, 4-hour-long miniseries, or maybe longer than that. I don't know, 3 parts. So it's kind of intimidating, as are many things. Like I think I said the last episode that I actually recorded, maybe not the last one you saw, that I was putting off dealing with Ben Cooper jigglers because there are just so many of them. How do you even deal with it? Or the little ugly stickers jigglers. Or I think I had wanted to deal with the Remco monster, not Remco, but not Imperial monsters. And you think, well, there's only a handful of characters in the Imperial monsters, but there's just so many different variants and package variants and different ways they marketed them, and it's and not just the figures, but the inflatables and paddle balls and all this other stuff. So I think the way to deal with these huge sets of monster toys where they made just so much stuff is to kind of nibble away at it, like break it into components and cover it over time. So this is kind of the first Sideshow episode, and I don't know if we're going to have any more this season or not, but this is a good way to kind of nibble a little piece of it off to deal with the holiday. This is not a holiday, but to deal with the holiday versions of some of their toys. And you can't get much more Christmas monster oriented than that, as you'll see. So let's look at Dracula. Why not? And the reason I'm dealing here with Frankenstein Dracula is because Sideshow made Christmas versions of these, which is the whole point of this episode. So here's Dracula. Bela Lugosi as Dracula. And you can see that this Dracula toy is on a completely different level than most of the Dracula toys we see on this show. This is a very, very serious, detailed, elaborate, authentic-looking Dracula. But it's a toy. It's a fully articulated action figure. It's not a statue. It's not a display piece. It's a toy. And it was sold at Toys R Us and other stores. It was in the action figure aisle at Toys R Us and other stores that had, toy aisles. I don't think it was ever in Target or Walmart. I don't think so. But it was in other stores that sold toys. It was definitely at Toys R Us for sure. Right alongside, and that was before they had like an adult collector section. In their final years, Toys R Us had a aisle that had all of the adult collectible stuff. They didn't have that then. This was mixed in with all the other, kids' toys. And kids did buy these things. I'm sure they weren't the main audience, but I'm sure that there were some kids that ended up playing with this stuff because they were priced as toys. I mean, you look at these now and think, oh, these are probably $200 each, right? Well, I mean, maybe, secondhand now, 20 years later, but at the time, no, they were, I think the original price of the Frankenstein was $19.99. And then later they upped the price as more characters were introduced. I think it went up to $29.99 and then $39.99. And then the last few, like the Metaluna Mutant, stuff like that, at the end of the line, those might have been $70, $80. I think they got up that high at the very end. But when they introduced these 12-inch figures, they were very affordable. I mean, look at what you got for your money. It's ridiculous compared to what your money will buy now. I mean, if this Dracula figure were put out now, that would be like a $200 toy easily. And people would say, "Oh, we can't make money at less than $200." But look what Sideshow was able to do. And part of the reason they were able to do that was because they had Toys R Us, because they had major retail stores buying their stuff. And it wasn't just a few loonies like me, customers buying them. They were mass market items. So that's economy of scale helped bring the price down. Sideshow introduced their monsters in 1999. I saw 1998 somewhere, so I mean I could be wrong. I'm going to say 1999. And if I'm wrong, you can correct me, but I believe it was 1999. And I have reason to back that up in a second. But I think it's 99. I've seen 98. I wonder if, I know that there was a FAO Schwartz gift set that came out before the individual carded figure, so maybe that gift set came out in 98. I'm not sure. There was a 3-figure gift set, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, that came out just at FAO Schwartz as an exclusive before the individual carded figures were in Toys R Us and other stores. So maybe that gift set was 98. I don't know. But the line proper and the array of figures on individual cards, I'm pretty sure was 99. Anyway, so the first one, the first 12-inch they put out was this Frankenstein. And I think that was 2000. And then I think Dracula, I don't want to venture to put a year on him. Yeah, I will. He's 2001. He has to be 2001. Yeah, so that's 2001. See, I don't do any research. I just wing it. Sometimes I have notes and stuff, but I really ought to look this stuff up before I do these shows. So I believe it was 2000, 2001, and then the 8-inch figures they were in Toys R Us at least in 99. They might have been in FAO Schwartz in 98, I'm not sure. Okay, but you've got the general timeline. These are turn of the century toys, not like I was talking about with Krampus, not 19th to 20th century, but 20th to 21st century. And there was this whole new monster craze that came about because of the stamps, the Universal Monsters postage stamps, and we did a whole episode on that last year. And that's when Hasbro came out with their 12-inch monsters. I think that was 98 because the stamps were 98, and then Don Post had their calendar mask reissues in 98. So a bunch of stuff hit in 98 because the stamps, it was bizarre that those stamps kicked off all this, but they did. Those stamps kicked off all of these monster toys and memorabilia and everything to cash in on those stamps. Can you believe it that postage stamps would lead to all that? But they did. I mean, it seems weird, but that's what happened. The postage stamps, the monster postage stamps, the Universal Monsters stamps, led to just one tie-in after another, and it was like a snowball. And then all these other companies came in and started making monster stuff. And before you knew it, we had a new monster craze. It was, we got the 60s monster craze and the 70s monster craze, and we had a late 90s monster craze. Well, let's get back to the Sideshow. So, you saw the 12-inch. I should have brought some 8-inch figures to show you, but since they didn't make holiday versions of them, what's the point? I want to show you what the ones they made holiday versions of. So how hard is it going to be to take this out? Let's show you a little big head. Okay, so this is a little big head. That's a little big head Frankenstein. And do these move? I forgot. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember if their necks move or I don't know. I'm not sure if they move, but it's just a little figurine, and they're cute. They're cute. And they're kind of like the super deformed garage kits that in vinyl toys from Japan, and that were still a big thing when these were new. People are still talking about super deformed stuff. Super deformed meant it had a big head and a little body, and that was considered cool if you made a super deformed version of a character, and that was the name, super deformed. That's what they were called. It was a Japanese thing, a Japanese fad to create models and figures and things of characters with big heads and little bodies. And we still see that today in like the Funko Pops and stuff like that. There's still a super deformed aesthetic out there. It's still relevant. I'm not going to take all these out of these little bags, but here's a Wolfman. That's a standard little big head Wolfman. Oh, well, there he goes. And now you see why I don't take him out of these packages. He's survived falling to the ground. If he had been out of the package, he probably would have gotten dented or damaged. So you know why I will not be taking them out of the packages. So here's Mummy. I don't know if you can see him that good. Yeah, I guess you can. There's Mummy. And all of the Sideshow mummies are Boris Karloff. They never made a Karis. It was either Imhotep or Ardith Bey, but it was Boris Karloff. And this is Dracula, Sideshow Little Big Head Dracula. And I don't think they had the Lugosi likeness. Well, I don't think they had the Lugosi license yet, so it's not a Lugosi likeness. But they eventually did get the Lugosi license. Okay, so that's what those standard, regular Little Big Heads look like. All right, now, in 1999, and I know that it was December 1999 because this box is dated December 1999. I won't show you the shipping label because sometimes I show you boxes that were shipped to me and you can see my address there. You know, it's not like my address is a secret, but this is addressed to Ray Castile, Gallery of Monster Toys. And then it has my street and city. So this is shipped to the Gallery of Monster Toys. And what is that? Well, I have this website called the Gallery of Monster Toys. And the first version of that website went up in 1995, but it wasn't called the Gallery of Monster Toys yet. It was a website that was designed to help promote my In Love with Toys documentary, which you can find on this channel. So when I made that video, I made a website because the internet was a new thing. Websites were a new thing, and I thought, well, that's what you do when you make a video. I guess you're supposed to make a website or something, right? Okay. So I made a little website with information about toys, and it had it was leaning very heavily towards monster toys. And that was 95. And the In Love with Toys video, it didn't do very well as far as sales, so I thought, but I had a counter on that website, and a lot of people were visiting it. So I thought, this website's doing better than my video. So the video is kind of dead weight that it's, dragging along. So why not jettison that and free it of that encumbrance and just let the website be its own thing. So I decided to take away all the non-monster stuff and just make it monsters. And originally it was just one page. You just scrolled and scrolled all this toy information about various kinds of toys, but I took away all the monsters. I took away all the non-monsters and made it just all monster stuff, and I divided it into decades. And then in 1996, it evolved into what it is still to this day. So if you go to the Gallery of Monster Toys, what you're looking at is basically a 1996 website. It changed very little since 96. I think 2001 was the last year I did any kind of updates to it. So it's frozen in time for 20 years. It actually garnered a lot of attention, and a lot of people were talking about it. So, it had some influence back in the 90s. There was nothing else like it on the internet back then. It was really the first thing of its kind. And so that's why I pay, how much? $25 a month to keep it up there. It would save me some money if I just let it go. But I feel like it has historical importance, so I keep it up there. I keep it online. I keep it alive. But I say that, the reason I go into all that is the reason I have these things. Somehow, I never asked for it, but Sideshow put me on their mailing list. And I don't mean just like email mailing list, I mean packages. And they started sending me one of everything they made. Every toy they made, they would send me one. So, and for free. Just cause, why not? Why not? And this went on for a few years. So that's why I have such a complete Sideshow monster collection. I didn't have to pay for hardly any of it. So I was one of their, I guess I was on their press list. Press list. They considered me press. So they sent this package to the Gallery of Monster Toys. So here's this nice Christmassy red piece of paper. It's got a little note on there. It doesn't have my address on it, does it? No. So there's the festive holiday note. And it says, Sideshow Toy would like to thank you for your support throughout the past year. We really appreciate your coverage of our products. I didn't really cover the products that much, but enclosed, I mean, I did a little bit, but not enough to warrant all these free toys. But anyway, enclosed is a special edition collection of the classic monster Little Big Heads. This holiday gift set is extremely limited and is not offered for sale. This holiday gift set is extremely limited and is not offered for sale. Have a wonderful holiday season and a terrific new year. Best wishes from all of us at Sideshow Toy. So, this was a special limited thing that was only for the people on their mailing list. Basically, the media press, people who gave them coverage, wrote about their toys, reviewed their toys. And this is how it came in that box you saw. It's like a gold kind of a box, but it's a box in a box. It's got this wrapping. And I haven't opened this in 20 years. I had forgotten where I put it. I had to look around for the stuff. It's a little dented, but it's free. And it's golden, like a gift box. Well, this has never been out of here, but I feel like I need to take it out to show you. Okay, let's get it out. Come on. Rise and shine. There it is. Okay. So here it is with its plastic on. Is this plastic sealed in any way? Let's take this plastic off. Okay, are these going to come out of there? No. Hopefully they won't fall out. So there's the holiday Little Big Heads. So, I just showed you the standard ones as they were sold in stores. Here is the special holiday set that was only available as a gift to people on the Sideshow mailing list. And I don't know how many of these they made, but not many. And these have little sparkles on them, little glitter. And you can see they're painted in Christmas colors. It's the same sculpts, but they're painted in Christmas colors. And I especially like the Dracula one. They're Christmassy, and they have glitter. Particularly, look at that Wolfman. He's got a lot of glitter. Christmas colors and glitter. So there's the special limited edition holiday Little Big Heads. It's been a long time since I looked at these things. Oh, so it says at the base, Season's Greetings from Sideshow Toy. That's a little detail that I never noticed before. So, you see up there at the top, Season's Greetings. Look at the writing on the base. Season's Greetings from Sideshow Toy, written on the base. So that's cute. And like I said, you couldn't get these in stores. This is a free limited set. It was only mailed to I don't know how many people. I mean, people guess at how many of these things there are, but I don't think Sideshow ever officially said what the number is. Now, you'd expect this to be super expensive, but I checked on eBay and it's not expensive at all. It's, you know, it's very, very gettable. So if you want a very limited, rare okay, if you want a very limited, I don't know, well, I don't know if I can call it rare since, you know, it's easy to get on eBay. I guess if people go on eBay and buy all the ones that are there, then it won't be easy to get anymore. But if you want a very limited piece, that's a piece of history, they're very easy to get on eBay, surprisingly so. I was surprised. I think it's just that the Little Big Heads, nobody cares, nobody wants them. They don't have a lot of collector interest. And that further goes to show you that this whole monster wave from Sideshow was they were toys. They were not adult collectibles in the way that stuff that we think of now. These are toys. All the Sideshow stuff, these are toys. The fact that they made stuff like, you know, Little Big Heads, you know, adults didn't buy those. I'm not sure that kids bought them either, but they were aimed at kids, the Little Big Heads, or at least they were aimed at a young market. So, I guess I'll put this stuff away later. Put that back in a shipping box. But yeah, Little Big Heads, that's not an adult collectible. That's a toy. And this is before Funko Pops. No, you could say, aren't Funko Pops for kids? No, they're for adult collectors. Kids don't want those. Oh, I don't know. They might buy a few, but you know, but this was before. This is the Little Big Heads. They're almost like the forerunner of a Funko Pop. Okay, so that was 1999. And I know because the shipping label says 1999. There was an eBay listing that says the holiday Little Big Heads are 1998. No, they were shipped to me, and I got them, you know, at the same time everyone else got them, in December of 1999. Okay, so now here is the first holiday 12-inch figure. in 2000, their holiday offering was a holiday Frankenstein. So this box, that's what the standard Sideshow Frankenstein came in. There's nothing different about the box. It's a standard Sideshow Frankenstein box. And this is the first time we've shown one on this program, so let's take a look at this. This is what the very first Sideshow 12-inch figure came in, this box with this artwork on it. Very serious looking. Art on all sides. It has the 90s, late 90s blood splatter. That blood splatter logo was around for a while, that Universal Monsters blood splatter. They used that for a while. And then here's the original 1931 poster art. So most of these 12-inch, I think all of the Universal 12-inch figures had original poster art. So they got hold of, if Universal didn't have it available, they got hold of poster collectors who had these original posters and photographed them. So every one of these boxes for the 12-inch line has an original Universal Monsters poster on the front. This is the original poster art. They were very consistent about that. They never, there's no exception to that. Every single 12-inch Universal in the standard line, they made a silver screen line that had photographs of the characters, but in the standard line, every Universal Monsters 12-inch figure has an original movie poster artwork. So let's open this up. And they have a little bit of Velcro on the end. That is how the flap locks in place. So before I show you this, because I haven't seen it in 20 years, let me take a look at it. Okay, and I don't know if I've ever had this flap open all the way, so it's very stiff, and I'm reluctant to open it too forcefully. Okay, so there's the Holiday Frankenstein. So no, they didn't all look like that. You just saw with the loose one I showed what the standard Frankenstein looked like. This is the Holiday Frankenstein. He's got a red Christmas cap and red Christmas pajamas. He still comes with his ordinary accessories that the standard one came with. And I don't think he's got the normal outfit on under that. I don't think he has a jacket, like the green jacket. He doesn't have that under that. So this is the Holiday Frankenstein. With that snowflake red Christmas pajamas. He's all set for Christmas morning. I hope Frankie gets some good gifts. It's been a long time since I got the Christmas gifts that I was excited about. I really don't get gifts anymore. Well, let's see. Happy Holidays with an apostrophe S. Happy Holidays from Sideshow Toy. While our business is focused on producing toys and related products, it's truly the people that we have relationships with that make our business most enjoyable. The Sideshow team has created a unique holiday gift for our friends who have been so supportive over the past year. Only 400 pieces of this special edition Holiday Frankenstein have been created, and we wanted you to have one. We appreciate all of your support and look forward to working with you in the new year. Sincerely, the folks at Sideshow. And here is this letter. Like I said, it has an apostrophe S on holidays, but not on it's truly, which is a contraction for it is truly. Okay, so I'm being grinchy. So here's the letter. Has that nice festive artwork there, this letterhead, this holly letterhead. You can see the way it's written, that font. Very Christmassy. It's not signed. I don't know who would have signed it, the president of Sideshow, I don't know. But nobody signed it. But it's nice holiday letterhead. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So this came with it. And, it just came in a brown box like the other one. Only 400 made. And I noticed on eBay, because I checked before I recorded this, that the Frankenstein seems to be more desirable than the Dracula, which you're about to see, the Holiday Dracula. The Holiday Frankenstein, it looks like it's going for around 700-ish, something like that. The Dracula is like 300-ish. So I don't know if they made more of the Dracula, but the Frankenstein seems to be the more desirable of the two. And the little big head set, just, you could probably go to Walgreens and find more expensive toys on the shelf than what you would pay to get the little big head set. I don't know why. I don't know why the little big head set doesn't go for more. But like I said, I just think collectors just don't. They're not into the little big heads. They weren't back then, and they're not now. Let's put him over here for the moment. Billy was here earlier, so I should say I started this episode twice and then restarted it again. Because Billy was getting into trouble over here, distracting me. But now he's not around. Earlier he was over there. I don't know where he went. I like it when he jumps up here and you can see him. He hasn't been feeling that good today. This has been a so-so day for him. He's been kind of not had a lot of energy today. So here is the Holiday Dracula. And, don't want to bend that. So it has a ribbon, a paper ribbon on it. It's just a cardboard ribbon, but this ribbon's, it's not attached to the box. So it could get bent if I'm not careful. Let me take that off before it does get bent. Okay, so now you can see the ribbon on its own. And that's what comes around the Holiday Dracula. So the Frankenstein did not have anything like that. The Frankenstein did not. It says, Happy Holidays to, and it's blank, from Sideshow Toy. So I don't know if they thought you might give this as a gift to somebody. It'd be kind of a gag gift if the person didn't understand what this was. Why is Dracula dressed this way? So here is the box, and again, this box is exactly like the standard Dracula. So since we haven't looked at the 12-inch Sideshow figures, or any Sideshow figures really, in a proper way on this show. This is the first time we're seeing this box. And the standard Dracula, he's in a box that looks just like this. The box itself doesn't have any difference. The holiday box is exactly the same as the standard box. And there's Bela Lugosi on the back. So it's an impressive box. Very impressive poster art. There were several Dracula one-sheets. It's interesting they picked this particular one. I think it works best with the shape of the box. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, here is the Holiday Dracula. There we go. There he is. In his red Christmas pajamas. I think he has feet in his pajamas. Now, he does have a black cape. He did come with a black cape. It's in the box. It's folded up in there. It's folded up behind the little stone base. I don't know if the cape on this one has the silver lining that the standard one does. I think it's the same cape. I don't think they changed the cape. I know it's black on the outside, but I think it's exactly the same cape. I don't think they changed that. And he doesn't have his tuxedo underneath. He doesn't have the jacket and everything. In fact, I don't think he has anything on underneath the pajamas. In his rear, he has a flap, like 2 buttons and a flap that comes down. And he has black underwear that's painted on, and it says Noel. So his on his rear, he has the word Noel. So if you unbutton his little flap, it says Noel. So the abdomen of the figure is painted black, like underwear, and it has Noel printed on the back of that. He's got some boxes, some denting over here. But, you can't be choosy. They just ship this however. Some of these things, even if I would get a free one, I didn't like the condition, I would go to the store and buy a nice one anyway. Because sometimes some of the stuff they ship, and beggars can't be choosers, but sometimes shipping these freebies, they didn't arrive in great shape. So if there was dents and stuff, I would go to the store and buy one anyway to have a perfect one. So that's the Holiday Dracula. Not a lot more you can say about it. I don't know what the edition size is on him. I want to say it's they made more of him than they did the Frankenstein, but I don't know that for sure. It seems like the Dracula is easier to find today than the Frankenstein. And the Frankenstein goes for more money. So I don't know how many Draculas are out there. I mean, I like, they're novelty items, obviously, but I like them both. But I think I like the Dracula a little more. Even though the Frankenstein has the snowflakes and the cap, so I've seen photos of the Dracula in the red pajamas with his cape on over it, and it looks kind of cool. It almost has like a superhero sort of a look with his red PJs and his cape. It's kind of cute. I mean, I like them both. And it's a bizarre idea to do that, to make weird holiday versions. And they didn't go all out. They didn't give Dracula or Frankenstein a Santa beard or like trim or details in the costume. It's just a joke. It's just a funny little gag gift to send to people who supported the company over the past year, who wrote something about the company, reviewed the toys or stuff like that, wrote articles. Let's just take one more look at the real, standard Dracula, the serious Dracula. And he's had his arm posed like that for 20 years, so I'm not going to move it. It's something. These are amazing toys. And just like I said, the fact that they brought him in at the price point that they were back then, between 20 and 40-ish over the course of the series until the very end. The last couple of figures went way up, but for most of the run, they were $20 to $40. And what you got for your money was something else. And it's too bad that Frankie has the green jacket. They did make a silver screen version. They made several of the characters as silver screen variants. And those boxes look different. They have photographs of the character from the movie, photographs of the actor in character movie stills on the front of the box. And that Frankenstein has a black jacket. So they got away with making a black jacket Frankenstein through the Silver Screen series. Their 8-inch Frankenstein has a gray jacket, which is better. And then the Silver Screen version of the smaller figure, I think, has just a darker gray jacket. I mean, it might, if you squint, it might be greenish gray, but it's gray. It's a gray jacket. But this 12-inch one, I don't know what happened. They made several different Frankensteins. They made Bride of Frankenstein, Son of Frankenstein, Ghost of Frankenstein, House of Frankenstein. They made all these different variants of Frankenstein with Boris Karloff in the bride scarred makeup and Boris Karloff with the Son of Frankenstein costume. And I think he's got a different head sculpt too. And Lon Chaney Jr. from Ghost of Frankenstein, and Glenn Strange from House of Frankenstein. So they made a lot of Frankenstein monsters. And they all had green jackets. Every one except that Silver Screen Frankenstein. Every other one had a green jacket. Well, Son of Frankenstein doesn't have a jacket, but all the other ones that had jackets have green jackets. This is the only Dracula they made. They never went into like Count Alucard, Cheney Jr., or John Carradine's Dracula. It would have been cool. It's kind of odd that they didn't. I mean, Hasbro had made Son of Dracula, Cheney Jr., and no one's ever made an official Carradine Dracula in any scale. So that's kind of odd. I mean, I could imagine a Carradine Sideshow Dracula, but they didn't do it. And they never made Karis. So they just did Imhotep and Ardith Bey. So there were a couple of holes in the collection, but overall, it's a pretty comprehensive Universal Monsters toy series in 12-inch and 8-inch and the little big heads. And then they made, oh, here's Billy. Hi, Billy. Hi, sweetie. I'm glad he came to say hello. And they did make big display statues that were not articulated. They had maybe wires in them or something, and I think resin heads and hands and fabric costumes, but I think their bodies were either stuffed or resin. So, you know, they were basically non-articulated display figures. So that was the Ultimate series. That's what they called them. Ultimate Edition. They had a creature, which is all resin, didn't move. It was in a swimming position. And that was the only one I ever bought. And he came in this huge box. It was ridiculous. And I kept him for about a year. I just took him out of the box once to look at him, and then put him back in the box. And I had this ridiculous box. It was like this tall, I mean, from the floor to here, and like that big, just insane. It was like a table. I should have put like you could have ate your lunch on it or something. Put a tablecloth on it. It took a lot of space. There was nowhere to put it. I just had it in my bedroom, you know, in front of my dresser. It took up like an eighth of my bedroom. It was ridiculous, and I finally sold it. I think I got a little more than what it. Well, actually, I think I doubled my money. So it did okay because it's the creature, and it was only out for a short time. And when it was gone, it was gone. But yeah, it was too big. I had no place to put it, and I never bought any other of these Ultimate Edition Sideshow figures. So I don't have the Ultimate Edition series. I really see those as a separate thing because those are after they finished their toy line. Then they came out with this Ultimate Edition thing, and they were all a couple $100 each, and they didn't move, and they were huge, and they took up a lot of space. I was never into those. I didn't buy any of those except that creature, which I sold. And if I had bought any of the other ones, I would have sold them as well. But I don't think I've ever sold any of the other Sideshow toys that I own. I don't remember ever selling a Sideshow toy. But I sold the big creature. Well, so there you go. Holiday monsters. Christmas monsters. Holiday Frankenstein, Holiday Dracula, Holiday Little Big Heads, Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, from Sideshow Toys 20 years ago. What you saw, those holiday editions were shipped from Sideshow to me for free, just for being a Sideshow supporter, for being press, basically. They considered me press. So that's that. As I said, Christmas is still a couple weeks out when I'm recording this. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and if you're hoping Santa brings you something, I hope he does. I hope he does, and I hope you don't get a visit from Krampus. You don't want to see Krampus. But I hope Santa does give you whatever you're hoping for. And I hope we all have a Merry Christmas and a much happier 2022. I hope the pandemic finally is behind us. And after 2 years of this, I hope it's once and for all. Finally, we can move past that, move beyond it, and get on with our lives. The world can get on with its life. And I hope it's a year of new beginnings and opportunities for you. That's it. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Basement of Horror will return.